and afraid of fire, still afraid of fire. That's one reason I got saved. You know, that fire burning up between my toes when I was laying on the bed. I said, woo, I don't like that. I was sitting on a truck hood playing a little song, there's fire down yonder, and I don't want to go. Ah, there's fire down yonder, yeah, I don't want to go, yeah. There's fire down yonder, I don't want to go. Hallelujah. How many's afraid of the fire? But you know, it says you'll pass through the fire. And he's talking about the fiery trials, folks. They're there to help us. They're there to mold us. They're there to make us stronger. And the Bible says we're more than conquerors through him that loved us and gave himself for us. And also it says he's placed all things under the feet of Jesus and all things under our feet. But you and I have got to keep it there. Little thought, this is a test. It says, in your patience, possess ye your soul. If the righteous scarcely be saved, where will the sinner and the ungodly appear? Every man is tempted when he's drawn away of his own lust. And when lust hath conceived, it brings forth sin. And when sin is finished, it brings forth death. The scripture also, there is no temptation taken you, but that which is common to man. But with every temptation, he'll make a way of escape. You know, we get in a test, Brother Jimmy, and I'm going to look for the way out. There's got to be a door somewhere. Every man's work shall be tried by fire. You know, to Brother Walter and him, they're doing a good work. And it says every man's work's going to be tried, whether it be wood, hay, or stubble. You know, the churches, a lot of times the bigger churches and things, it's going to be burned up one of these days. I mean, people put a lot of money into their buildings, their stained glass windows and all that stuff. But one day all that's going to be dissolved. But you know, when the silver, the gold, the precious stone, it's when you invest in people's lives. It's when you invest. You know, the greatest investment, one of the greatest investments you and I will ever have will be in our children or in our children's children. You know, people spend a lot of time, you know, a lot of money to send them to college and to schools and things. But folks, to invest Jesus Christ into their life. You know, to our church, they asked me the other day, said, your kids play sports? I said, my kids went church to church to church to church. I was an evangelist. And we didn't have time for sports. You know, they could play, you know, at school or something, you know. But, you know, that's a great, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I said, you know, the parents get so involved in sports that the kids can't have fun. It's supposed to be a game. It's supposed to be fun. But parents get so mad, and Tina's talking about going to a ball game, I guess last year, and the parents, they were huffing and puffing because little kids wasn't perfect. They made mistake. You know, that referee called it wrong. Shame on you. Little word discouragement. Says, I love you. Little thought that I wrote. I love you and more than any of my creations. Here's what God is saying. I love you more than any of my creatures or creations. I love the animals, the birds, the butterfly, the starry sky. I love everything I've made, but I love you more. What a word, ain't it? I love you more. And see, that's what God is saying. And I wrote down a list here. Life consists of, and I thought of Brother Pete as I wrote down this first one or two here. It consists of a conception. And I wrote down no accidents. You know, we hear little kids and they say they're accidents and things. But folks, God had a plan for your life. You're no accident, no accident. The scripture says you're wonderfully made. Life starts at conception. A person being created. A person is being created in the womb. It consists of a pregnancy. And a little thought, I'm beautifully and wonderfully made. To Jeremiah said, I knowed you when you was in your mother's womb. And you know, to Tom Bates, his mom said, and here he's a great man of God, a great minister. Said God gave her all kinds of sermons while she was carrying him. Sermon after sermon, and I don't know if she's called preacher or not, but he was giving her the sermons. And Tom Bates, a great man of God. But also the little thought, sing love songs to your baby while you're carrying. I can imagine Tina Probably told her some funny stories. And them little kids, you wouldn't believe Miss Tina's little funny stories. And they were on the floor laughing. I went in there one night it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and she was telling funny stories to her kids, and they were laughing, and they woke me up laughing. Laughing so hard they cried, and she was crying, I think.